So March wrapped up a few weeks ago, and I've got a list of random stuff I watched, so here's a speed runner through my least to most favourite. Les Vampires is a silent French 1915 crime comedy serial about reporters attempting to stop a gang called the Vampires. I got bored of this one pretty quickly. It's 7 hours long and gets very repetitive, so after the first few episodes you probably get the idea and you can just skip the rest. Orphans of the Storm from 1921, directed by D.W. Griffin, is about two sisters, one being blind, who get into some shenanigans during the French Revolution. It's long and a bunch of stuff happens, and this kid gets run over by a horse and cart. Didn't really do much for me. I also watched 4 different versions of the most controversial movie ever made, Tinto Bass's Caligula. I watched the Australian cut, the Italian cut, the pre-release cut, and the uncensored cut. I'll talk about these later, but if you want to watch one, I recommend the pre-release cut. You can stream all of these for free on Broly, but be warned, they are pretty graphic, specifically the uncensored cut. Next up we have Hard Eyes, a rom-com crossed with a slasher. It was okay. That's it. The Monkey and Oz Perkins and Stephen King joint is a horror comedy, and I wanted to like it, but it just didn't work for me. I didn't like the lack of rules and the reasoning around the monkey. I get that it's a metaphor for death, but it would always happen to kill a family member until it just didn't want to anymore. It is a short watch though, so check it out if you want something that's not a commitment. Speak No Evil, the US cut, yet to see the original, but this one was fine. It had moments where I was yelling at the screen for the characters to apply some logic to their decision making. It wasn't bad, but keen to see and compare to the original. And of course James McAvoy was a blast to watch. Next, another silent movie, Within Our Gates, a film by the earliest known African-American filmmaker, was a reaction to Griffin's Birth of a Nation. It's an interesting and more realistic take on racism and classism during the era. It's short, it's interesting, has a very disturbing lynching scene, but I'll check it out. Companion is a fun look at relationships with a twist that I legitimately didn't see coming, as I hadn't seen a single thing about this movie. It's a cool premise and Sophie Thatcher is good, taking on various emotional states with Jack Quaid playing a pathetic redditor. Not going to spoil anything here, but it's worth a watch, I'd say. The Smiling Madame de Bay, considered one of the earliest feminist films. It's short but interesting, using state-of-the-art special effects for the time. They had some very interesting ways of showing a woman feeling trapped by her husband and going insane within her old house. As said, it's a quick watch but well worth it. Another silent movie, we have The Phantom Carriage, which again uses modern special effects for the time to create these ghostly spectres. Although pretty simple today, this is one of the earliest movies to utilize flashbacks within flashbacks, adding layers to its narrative, and it's a pretty tragic tale of this total piece of shit human and the toll that he has on people around him. I would actually highly recommend checking this one out as well. Next up we have Hearts of Darkness, which is an awesome behind the scenes look at one of the most infamous productions of all time, Apocalypse Now. If you want to get inspired for anything that you're working on, I would recommend looking at this for a spark of hope and a reminder to never ever attempt trying to make a movie. Next up is The Apprentice, which is an interesting look at the relationship between Trump and Rory Cohn. Great performances all around, so much so that it hit the point where I felt sorry for both of the characters, only to remember that they are real life monsters. Even if you don't know much about their history, it's still very digestible and easy to follow along, so I'd recommend checking it out. I finally got around to watching this Aussie classic, Wake in Fright. It hits all the points of a typical Australian night out: beer, heat, gambling, steak, beer, brew hunting, all-night benders, and more beer. I would highly recommend giving this one a watch, as it's a fascinating look at a civilized man spiraling into lunacy around these outback bogans. Presence, aka the Haunted Real Estate video, is one of the most memorable haunting movies I've seen since The Exorcist, if you want to count that as a haunting movie. It's an awesome drama that reveals information sporadically and naturally with an interesting visual presentation. I really don't want to say too much about it because I think it's better to go in completely blind, so give it a watch. Adolescence is one of the rare times Netflix actually drops something good. Brilliantly shot and presented with great performances across the board, especially from Owen Cooper. A very contemporary subject matter that I'm very much interested in and have very strong opinions on. By that I mean, fuck social media. Go back to playing sticks and touch grass or something. And finally, to top off the month, we have Starship Troopers. I finally got around to seeing this classic. I loved every second of it, from the themes to the violence to the over-the-top cheesy yet purposeful acting. If you haven't seen this one, go out and watch it as soon as you can, you won't regret it. So that was a quick run through of my least to most favourite movies that I've seen this month. If you've seen any of these, let us know what you thought, and I'll be doing this again next month.